Execration with the Lion, they just have great to hold themselves. Fnatic do go into the Grimstroke, so that does mean the Leshrac is a core. Earth Spirit Grimstroke duo is very strong as supports. If they rotate mid together, Inkswell with a Boulder Roll, you can just kind of kill off the mid very fast. And it gives them a way of also sort of handling the spiders. Just roll in, get the Inkswell. You can kind of do that. Great counter to Brood with the Stroke of Fate as well. Even a Soul Bind to a certain extent. If you bind the Brood to someone who's slow, you can't just scurry around. So you can kind of keep that Brood fairly locked into a certain area and have the Leshrac and Earth Spirit kind of handle it from there. A good way of trying to put a lid on the Broodmother.
Fair enough. Reserve time in, Execration. They'll have a think about this third pickup. I wonder what kind of route they're going to go down here. Maybe just pick up another position 4, position 5, whatever you feel like. Just another support. Don't reveal too much of your hand if you are Execration. They are using a lot of reserve time. That's something we've been seeing a lot actually today. Every team just taking a lot of time in this draft. Something we didn't quite see in the earlier days of the group stages where they just kind of flew by them. 25 seconds left now. Alright, they're going to go into the Order Titan. It's a nice way to start some team fights. However, Fnatic just straight into the Raven AM. Something I've got to honestly say I would have never expected to pop up here, but Raven, he might just feel like he needs that kind of hero. Like, he just needs that I'm going to carry the game by myself hero.
Yeah, it's that kind of win condition. Execration, they have semi-decent hold with the Lion. Like the Hex alone should keep that AM in check, but nothing else to maybe follow through. You have to worry about the quick spell shield as well, the counter spell coming through from Raven. If he's fast and sees you, can hold you down. The Puck is a great response though. You just blink in, get the silence, get the Dream Coil off if possible before the Manta's up, and just kind of hold him from there. Gives you an option to also keep up with the AIM's pace. You can travel around, get the quick boots of travel to kind of track Raven, and that does kind of help the cause here for Execration. Looking good on the team fight front for both sides. I think Execration has wider control with the Dream Coil, with the Elder Titan Stomp, the Sleep, the Lion on hand. They have stronger disables. Fnatic requires a little bit of setup for the Leshrac, but that's mainly down to the Earth Spirit and perhaps a Grimstroke to line that up. The Puck should feel fairly mobile here. I guess Phantom's Embrace early on. The silence can be annoying if you don't manage to phase shift it off, so you can still kind of grip that Puck down, but shouldn't be a big issue for Bob. It's also one of Bob's specials, of course, so he does get to slide into a comfort hero. We'll have to see what Execration slow picks out for their core. Like, they need a nice big tanky core, not necessarily tanky, but something that comes online quick to play with his pace Execration has made for themselves. I guess you could maybe try for, if you're really worried about AM, Slardar and then just run the Brood instead, but they go with a Lifestealer. So this is something that has pretty good pace. You can Infest Bomb the Puck, Infest Bomb the Brood, and I like pointing this out, but it never happens. Infest Bombing a Spiderling could be a possibility as well. Never happens, but I want to see it happen at some point.
It would be cute. Does. It would be really cute. It would be very unexpected as well. I mean, you wouldn't expect a Lifestealer and a Spiderling, but like you said, John, it just hasn't happened. I guess they're just much better targets to infest, you know? I guess that's why you have 4 other heroes in your team, Jonathan. No need to infest a Spider. Still, I think it's a decent pick, right? A Lifestealer, just natural kind of basher carrier. Can kind of do well into the AM. Like, AM generally may not be able to man fight the Lifestealer, right? Like, you've got this hero that just kind of wants to blink in, you know, find a nice target for himself, just kind of go for the fight. Lifestealer, one of those targets that can be kind of hard to just go 1v1. I suppose this AM, though, you can kind of just go for the backlines, and there's an Enigma pickup now. So, 2 very interesting drafts being made up here. I wasn't expecting to see an Enigma pick today. I believe that should be an offlane Enigma we're looking at. And I suppose that's one thing you can do, is just deny Palos' creeps. Just deny all of them.
Yeah. It's one way to get that done. Slow down the farm, the Lifestealer. You don't have that same impact with push without the, what do you even call it, Necronomicons anymore. It's been so long, I forgot the name. You don't have that push potential, but with a mech, with a blink, with a BKB, there's nothing to stop Det from just getting those black holes off until the Ags comes out for Bob, which is a long way off. And going back to your point with Lifestealer versus AM, it's an interesting 1v1 because once Lifestealer runs out of mana, the damage output of the AM kind of shoots all the way down, right? Like, he's a hero that actually does want to hit heroes with mana to get damage off. Lifestealer doesn't have much, especially early on, but even as the game goes late, he doesn't have the best int growth, so... And the Lifestealer feels pretty good in the matchup. At the same time, you do want mana for Rage, so it can kind of go back and forth. Overall, I'm going to lean towards Execration's draft just because they've got the Raging Brood. I think the Brood should be able to work the map quick, shut down the farming areas of Raven, and once you choke out the AM, it becomes hard to spread farm with the Leshrac Enigma. These heroes need farm as well, especially the Enigma. He sits in jungle, he builds up an Eidolon army and clears out camps. It's going to be a tight map for Det and Raven to kind of split that farm.
Let's see how this one pans out. Game number 1. Of course, Fnatic currently doesn't have a win today. They'd love to get some against Execration. And, well, we haven't really looked at the loot bet odds quite yet as we are going to just about to get into the game. But I imagine Fnatic should be favored going into this matchup against Execration. We'll have to wait and see to see the exact odds that are up. So I'd have to take a wild guess and say they would be. Still, again, Execration is one of those teams that can just create these real big upsets and surprise you. Definitely not a bad team whatsoever. I mean, we've seen them upset many, many big teams in the past. So we'll head into game 1. See how everything's going. Looks like there's going to be a couple disconnections, which is, you know, the SEA Classic, which does give us time to talk about some merienda, John. I had merienda today. Had some chocolate. I had chocolate bar today, sir.
Oh,
and some mate mate, of course. How about you?
I had some coffee and some mate mate. Even with mate mate, I just like the taste of coffee. But I get a bit over-energized with drinks, so I kind of sleep late. It's been keeping me up. I've been getting way more day and night, maybe a bit more than I'd want. But it is what it is, you know. When you get all in on the energy, Mike. Yeah, it just happens.
You're such a social guy as well, John. You'd love the nightlife.
Oh, very social. Yeah, I just stay at home, surf the net, read my manga. Yeah. Very good mangas, Mike.
What mangas are you reading these days? Do I want to know? Are they appropriate, John?
Yes, they're appropriate. I can mention them. Useless Princess is really...
Oh my god.
Just the name alone. Useless Princesses is really good.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good. Go
on. Annie Toyome, I think it's Living with My Brother's Wife is really good as well.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, you can tell these are bangers from the titles, Mike. Absolute bangers. There are a couple more. They slipped my mind now. So those are the big ones that are getting monthly updates. Pretty good reads. If you're into just if you're into emotionally torturing yourself, those are really good.
Yeah, thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Great titles.
You know what I started reading? I know, like, unfortunately the author has passed away, but I started reading Berserk. Actually, it's really done good. You know, I'm kind of sad, like really sad now that it might not be finished. I probably should have started reading it, but I did, and it's really done good.
It's one of those things, you know. If it works really good, you just want to read it. We'll never know the ending now, unfortunately, but
it's a bit of a masterpiece in its own right?
Like, it is.
It doesn't need to be finished. It's just leave it, you know. Work of art.
I should get started in that as well. You know, I haven't. I've had friends yell at me since high school.
No, John, finish Useless Princess first. My God.
Oh,
are you kidding?
It's ending this month.
Goodness. Yeah. We better prioritize that, John.
Oh, Chuan, he's going for the deny.
Yeah, he is. Earthspike is out. They're just going to kind of get him out of there. They want that extra gold. Sentry down. Jabs. He's going to try and do something cheeky himself. Nobody's got a sentry, apparently, on the side of Execration right now. It's a bit of a shame for them.
30 seconds to battle.
They've got one now on Palos. He's going to try and claim that gold for himself, and does. They'll even get a sentry for their trouble. Very nice.
Yeah, just unfortunate for Chuan. Going to miss out on some vision down the line. They look pretty set up here on Fnatic to still go for more runes, though. Like, the entirety of Execration is just so focused on the top river that they might lose this triangle and bot river spot and lose out on some gold.
Yeah, they may. Looks like they will be able to get 2. Raging Potato does make it through to the river. He might take a bit of harassment on the way back to the laning phase. And well, now he'll find out Raven and DJ are here, and he'll have to waste the spider web. Which is something you really don't enjoy doing as Broodmother, is wasting those webs if you can avoid it. It is only going to be one though. He does have 2 more charges, so he should be just fine before he does have the reset on the webs.
Yeah, it's still going to be an interesting lane to go back and forth. And once you have the Silken Bola, it feels like the AM is going to be really annoyed with that mischance. He's not going to be able to just safely see us. There's always the threat of the stun coming out from BDZ as well. AM's magic resist isn't particularly outstanding, so the harassment can still come through here from Execration. There are some plays Fnatic can do though. Like once they have Inkswell up, they could look to be aggressive with Blinks, but I think for the most part, you're just going to sit back and farm here with Raven.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Raven, he just wants to farm up forever. Like, this is an AM game after all, you know. Blink around, clear some waves, go back to the jungle, build your Battle Fury and your Manta style and everything like that. We'll see if he gets clever with the kind of build-up he goes for on the AM, but it has been the same item build forever. So, we'll see if Raven has something else up his sleeve now. Of course, over in the mid lane, well, actually, hold that thought, because top lane might be a bit of action going on. Jabs and Death going into RR. You've also got Palos there on the Lifestealer. I suppose we may as well talk about this lane while we're here. It might be a difficult lane for Palos. Against the Enigma, one of the kings of being able to just deny creeps and waves over and over again. Could be a pretty rough time for a Lifestealer who doesn't really farm fast anyway. And so taking that initial farm away so he can't build into the Armlet or the Maelstrom could be quite detrimental here for Execration.
Yeah, the one thing Execration has with this dual lane though is that they're very beefy up front. So the Elder Titan's going to be hard to zone out in terms of harassment, and Jabs has to be careful how far he runs as a melee support. They can kind of zone him out. This slowdown in farm is painful though.
Yeah, Bob though, mid lane does end up dropping. Chuan able to secure first blood. I'll give Chuan a tip straight away. He's going to be very, very happy with that. We'll allow him to get an extra level ahead of Bob, and it's definitely not the greatest start for Execration. Like, that mid lane, obviously not going too well right now for Execration. The top lane, we just talked about it, but that's also going quite badly already. So, Palos has only got 3 last hits. 3.
Yeah, it's painful. And you mentioned it, the Lifestealer just doesn't flash farm. We've seen this hero lag behind, try to play catch-up, never gets the farm in time. And that's going to be something Execration will have to seek to fix. Bob, again, fairly deep.
Uh-oh.
Does have the orb, but you can see how low he drops when that level 2 edict. Just a level 2 edict's enough to melt him.
Yeah, it can be quite detrimental, right? Like, Bob's going to be very careful not to dive here. And now you've got Jabs around as well. There is vision to scout out Jabs' rotation, but if he connects a roll and... Well, he doesn't actually have the silence up anyway. He's still level 2, but if he does connect a roll and you get a split earth, that is probably going to be a guaranteed kill onto Bob again. He's just looping from the backside. It's almost playing mind games here with Bob. Just reminding him that he's here. And he could roll in at any moment from any angle.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the Earth Spirit. It's got so much activity to give early on. Jabs is actually going for the bot lane rotation. BDZ is already sort of out of position here.
Well, roll is going to connect. Very nice from Jabs. Earth Spike is there, but the turnaround with the counter spell is going to stun him right back. So secondary kill already for Fnatic. And every time I look at that CS board, it does scare me quite a bit here for Execration. Just purely based on how bad the Lifestealer's farm is right now. It is going to mean that you need Raging and Bob to kind of create more space for that Lifestealer as the game goes on. Luckily for Execration, Raging and Bob, in terms of CS anyway, are having a decent time.
Yeah, and they're keeping up. I just don't know if that's going to be enough, especially with Bob dying in mid. That just kind of offsets this faster start you want on the puck already. We'll probably need to see an early rotation from Bob. By the time he's 6, he needs to show up in the lane, try to get a kill, try to make some space, get some heroes into a different lane to buy Palos some space out. Because if this AM hits a very fast Battle Fury timing, which looks like what Raven set up to do, your Lifestealer just can't keep up. And your hold issues still stand, right? Like, you're going to need an Orchid on the Brute to really lock in Raven before the Manta.
Roll.
To line your shot.
They're going to try and go on Raging. Inkswell is going to connect. Raging, he's just completely out of mana. Bottle Smash is there. He will pop some mangoes and try to fight back now with the insatiable hunger, but it's not going to be enough. Props to Jabs already on this Earth Spirit. He's just making so much work happen across this map. In fact, he's pretty much winning the team every 3 lanes. Like, all lanes are just being won by this Earth Spirit. Just roaming around, setting up kills, and BDZ. Roll's going to connect again. Another Boulder Smash. DJ, he's going to pause. What a time to pause as well. Jabs will tip him.
Oh, man.
Oh, this is an SCA pub now, John. The quick pauser. Just to rub the salt in the wound.
Yeah. It happens in Southeast Asia. This is one of those things. BDZ gets to think about what he's done here. He does have the Earth Spike. Counterspell is up, though, so can't really do much.
Nah. Headset. DJ. It took him long enough to explain what the problem was. Thank you, DJ.
There we go.
Yeah. BDZ, he knows. He's gonna... No, he can't. Pop the mango. Does have his mana drained just before he can cast the Earth Spike, so no chance of survival there for BDZ. And that's gonna make it a 4-0 already in favor of Fnatic.
And this is scary for Execration. Just giving those 2 kills away to Raven. The Battle Fury is going to be very, very quick. And then you just lose the farm war. Like, everyone else in Fnatic's also building up. Maybe they get this rotation mid, but it's hard to line that shot up against the Lesh. And Jabs, as you mentioned, he's just everywhere on the map. He just knows where to be, knows where to back up.
Oh, nice Dream Coil. Bob going to try and abuse the Dream Coil timing. However, look at the damage output. Chuan! Max Diabolic Edict with the Pulse Nova. It was just too much. And they just didn't have the follow-up damage after it. BDZ was there, but he's a level 3 Lion. What's he going to do? He's got 1 stun and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, RR was there as well in the back line, hanging on the left side ramp. They can't do anything. They don't have the same mobility as the Earth Spirit. They need to actually go closer, and that always runs a risk. Now you're even seeing DJ group up, and they want to go.
Oh, they wanted the silence. Jabs just a bit too early on the roll. Or rather, Bob reacts fast enough as now BDZ does move in. Can they take down this Leshrac? Astral Spirit's there. They should have enough, and they will. It does mean that 3 heroes committed in the mid lane, but they do at least secure the kill. That was a very important one, as this Leshrac, he just feels like he was getting too far ahead.
Yeah, and they have to protect that mid. The moment any heroes leave the lane, Leshrac with Max Edict will just melt that tower, and that starts to open up the map more. Shuts down your jungle fast, especially when you're playing against Enigma. He can just dip in and clear out the camps himself. So you need that control here. Dragging all the supports mid
Raging.
also buys some space out.
Oh, there's an Invis rune on Chuan. He had it bottled up. Raging, he's going to try and back here, but they're going to move in now with the Diabolic Edict down on the Pulse Nova. Raven will happily take the kill with the Mana Void. Meanwhile, top lane, Death is going to be ganked up. He does have Black Hole, but he won't want to commit it all by himself. He might just accept his death, or maybe not. Jabs is here. He is going to commit the Black Hole. He does go on a Palos and Bob, and now the silencers are there. They do kill off the Lifestealer. Dream Coil is down. They do at least get Death, but Jabs, he's not done. He might keep going on Bob, but he was out of spells. Nevertheless, you trade your life for a Lifestealer. You're more than happy with that if you're dead.
Yeah, it's a really good trade coming out from Fnatic. They only commit 2 heroes there. They get so much space for Raven. They're pushing that bot tier 1. Raging Potato, the Broodmother is expected to melt the opposing tower first. It doesn't happen, and this sets a bad precedent for Execration. There's more space now for Raven to keep farming. There's not enough space being denied by Raging Potato yet. He does have the Spiderlings up, but again, with all the supports, with all the wave clear that they have on the Grimstroke, on the Lesh, I don't know how impactful these early Broodlings will be until maybe the pipe, and that's still a long way off for Raging.
How dare you, John? They're called Spiderlings. Broodlings are with the Brewmaster, John. Get your facts straight, please. Raven. Oh, it's going to be dangerous. Bob's here, but no, they don't have the Dream Call anyway. He should still be able to get the silence off, and does, and now the Sports Spiderlings are there. Nice setup there from Bob. We kind of just talked about it. Raging, he does get some value out of these Spiderlings before it does become inevitably just farm to the side of Fnatic.
Yeah, and this is the push we were looking for from Execration. Bot tier 1 just melts to all these Spiderlings coming through from Raging Potato. It's going to rip right through, so they even out the bot lane. The top lane still holds steady in terms of tier 1s as well. Not much damage coming out from Fnatic there. So they've got a room for the Broodmother to play with, although Raven.
He's going to find a target. That's easy BDZ kill. BDZ on the line. He's had a very tough game already. 4 deaths on the line, and quite frankly, it is a very tough lane. Especially when you've had jabs just constantly rotating down the bot side, and now raging. Oh boy, that's a lot of damage. The stroke of fate into the spiderlings. He was right on target too. Raging, he's got no way out. Oh, you just love when you line up that stroke of fate and there's spiderlings in front of the Broodmother. There's nothing better.
Oh yeah, that's the scary bit. It's like an overwhelming odds on like a PL army, right? Like it's so much damage that comes through. You have to really watch your micro this game for Raging. We've pointed it out, but it's not the easiest Brood game. He still needs to keep working that bot lane, still needs to deny space away from the AM, but it feels like Fnatic's got enough from laning that the Brood impact is, it's just not being felt yet. Whereas in most games at the 10-minute mark, it starts to feel scary. It's a slower build-up here, so we'll have to see what else Execration can get done. They are catching up a bit more on Palos, though. He has been allowed some form of farm coming out in the top lane and his jungle. So his armlet's not going to be as slow as we'd expect in terms of timing. He is still the bottom network core, which is concerning, especially since, again, he's going for armlet, not Maelstrom. So his farm is not going to shoot up with that item. His fighting capability and survivability will, but his farm is just going to stay pretty bad. And Raven's still allowed to free farm into the Battle Fury, so Execration needs to get something done here.
Yeah. Scan out though, a very nice scan. It's gonna scout out this this smoke. Death. He's got the black hole and he's got a team behind him. He might want to bait. Execration, are they gonna realize it is a bait? Bob gonna reveal himself. The silence is there. Jabs, he's got the puck, but it's not enough. They don't roll in. They do reveal themselves. Still, Palos is still farming that top lane. Death, he might just go right for a black hole here. But no, he holds out, waits for the right moment. And they might just have to settle for going for that top tier 1 tower with this Leshrac. It shouldn't be too hard to commit, but they actually back off.
I think they're respecting the control that can come through, although Bob...
Yeah, nice phase shift. Another nice silence as well. Bob is going to be able to back in time. Now jabs, Spiderling, so he's going to get all the gold for himself. I'm going to enjoy that one. Might have to find a way out, though. Bob is going to dive in. Death is there. Immediate black hole with the Earth Spike. We'll cancel it off. Bob, he's still going to drop. They at least get jabs as a trade, but it's not great as Chuan, he's going to try and find Raging. Raging Potato is out of there on the Broodmother. Still a well and truly a worthwhile trade, though. Black hole for Bob. You lose jabs, but, you know, you got that mid-puck. Who the hell cares?
Get the kills you want. They did blow the Magnetize on the Spiderlings there. Not really a big issue when you get all of them gone, so it's a good gold injection for both supports with a Stroke of Fate on top. And they stall out this mid-push. Execration was lining up to just melt the mid-tier 1. They can't get that done now. They just need to rebuild the army for Raging. And they are going to try to group up top again. Chuan still has the Edict ready. Palos is still just forced to stay in this lane. There is a wraparound from Execration, though.
Yeah, Raven be a massive pick-off, but the counterspell's there in time. BDZ, he could go after Death. It looks like Death already understands he might be dead. Coil's there, though. Chuan, he went back in. They do get BDZ. Chuan's still very confident he can take the team fight, and he might be just right as Bob is just dropping so darn quick. But he will be able to phase shift and orb the hell out. So definitely a favorable trade there for Execration, but Chuan, he's not done. He still wants to keep going. He won't be able to catch Palos. Palos does have the rage anyway. They have bought more than enough time, though, for Raven to have a decently timed Battle Fury up. That's it, the game will get infinitely harder now, as you've always going to be worried about that AM timing. So again, you look back at Palos, he still hasn't even got the armlet up. I believe it's on the courier now. All things being said and done, it's not that badly timed considering his lane, but he's gonna need a lot more than that.
Yeah, he needs way more. And Fnatic in the 1k lead, it's not good news for Execration. They're the ones with the Brood, they're the ones that need to take these quicker objectives. They are going for the top tier 1, Fnatic not quite set up for the defense, but they're lining for the mid instead.
Palos just barely avoiding the split earth there. Diabolic Aegis is out. Palos, he's just going to tank it.
Radiant's top tower
I guess it's
is
one
under
thing you can
attack.
do to try and make that Diabolic Aegis not do too much. However, it does still go down. RR is going to just TP out. DJ, he might be in danger. Inkswell is there, but they will still make the jump. He actually does heal up with the stick charges, and now the roll in. Coil was committed in the backside. It did catch two of them as Jabs now. He's fighting all alone and will be punished for it.
Radiant's middle
Ends
tower
up being a
is
very
under
nice dream call there from Bob.
Radiant
As he does hold back both Death and Chuan, and they just could not help Jabs out.
Yeah, and this is where some of the team fights feel a bit off mark for Fnatic. They don't have Black Hole, so it's big downtime for Death. He can't quite
Raven.
pressure Raven.
Yeah, he was under vision. Earth Spike was there, and now they have the Hex out. They should have enough. No. Oh, yeah, they do. Bob with the Witch's Blade. The DPS was just enough to get Raven.
Dire's
Bot lane,
top tower
raging.
is
He's
under
being watched right now by Chuan. But it's so hard to catch this man
Radiant's
out.
middle tower is
Death,
under
he
attack.
has Black Hole in about 1 second. He just needs the time. Is he in range though? Roll there from Jabs, but no, they're not going to bother trying for it. I suppose the Black Hole maybe not so worthwhile to kill a Broodmother off. Raging? He's going to show up again. Almost taunting them. Maleficus is there, and there you go. No, they're going to Black Hole this time. No messing around. Split Earth out. It's going to be enough, surely. Even with the Hood to find some pipe from Raging Potato, he will still drop.
And he's still ripped right through. I think Execration should always kind of use that timing to their advantage. When they see Black Hole down, level 1, 200-second cooldown, they can fight back, and they do smoke up. If they
Yeah.
catch someone out, that could be a big win.
Yeah, that person is probably going to be Death here as they do silence him up. Infest Bomb is there, and Palos is like a nice easy kill for himself. So both offlaners getting traded. You know, in some ways you could argue Execration came out on top because that Black Hole is now on cooldown. And it looks like Execration are more than ready to start trying to invade the Radiant jungle and start being annoying towards Raven. Just try to take the AM farm away.
And they are still keeping up with that AM. Raven's only about 500 gold above Bob. Not quite the runaway AM just yet since picking up this Battle Fury. He is going to have his Yasha up. Manta not too far off. And that's when you can really start the ball rolling. But up top,
Dire's structures
Up.
are falling.
Found the Brood. Pulse Nova, raging again. He had the pipe up, but it's just not enough. Or maybe it is. The Magnetize. Not going to tick him out. Roll just barely off the mark there from Jabs. He does have a Boulder Smash. He won't be able to throw it out though. As Bob, meanwhile, on the backside, does end up finding the Grimstroke, and they should be able to get him. However, now Raven is going to try and trade, and they've got him. Bob, he kills off DJ, but it's not worth his own life, and I suppose he wasn't expecting the rotation in from Raven. But it does come, and it does pay off for Fnatic.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
yeah,
attack.
they've gotten the big kill. They're keeping that puck in check. Execration, it feels like a lot of their momentum is riding on Bob. Like, he needs to set up the plays, he needs to get the
Radiant's
initiation, get
bottom
the control
tower
and
is under
silence off.
attack.
Every time he dies, that slows down his timings. He's trying to go into boots of travel next to keep up with a split push that can come out from the AM. And it's still going to come out at a decent time considering his laning start. But they need him to stay safe. They can't afford to just throw him out in the front line like that. And Jabs, though,
Yep. Hex out. Jabs. He's almost a guaranteed death here. No real way out for him. Top side, Raven. Raging's going to just take his farm away. Jumps right in. Gives a few spiderlings, but... Well, actually gives all of them away now. But does end up taking the camps away from Raven. I think that's really the only thing Raging can do right now is just be really a nuisance, right? Just every time you see Raven farming alone, just jump in with the spiderlings. Just take the creeps away. You know, slow him down as much as you can as Palos.
Radiant
Yeah,
structures
he's going to
are
be able to
falling.
try and catch up and keep taking objectives while he can.
Dire
yeah,
are
it's
scanning.
honestly not too bad for Execration. They are still within 1k here, so they're not lagging completely behind. They've gotten some good damage onto that bot tier too, and it forces a big response out from Fnatic. So they're not going to be around to, say, de-push the top lane from Raging's invasion on the Spiderlings. They just need to ensure that they don't die when the commitment comes out from Fnatic. So Execration just needs to watch for this little smoke play from Fnatic here.
Well, Palos, He does have to rage up. Like, max level rage, it's quite hard to actually get the gank off. Because you do have the black hole to go through it. Death doesn't have any kind of initiation tool yet. He's actually 50 gold off the blink. The smoke may have been a little bit mistimed there, as if you had the blink, you probably would have just guaranteed yourself that Palos kill. Again, BDZ is still around to cancel the black hole, as you don't really have a BKB either. Death, he might actually be going for the BKB before the blink at this rate. He has bought the Ogre Axe anyway, first up, before the blink. I suppose even with the blink up, you know, if you don't get BDZ or you don't get Bob, nothing's coming off that black hole.
Yeah. It's good split push coming out from Raging, but Chuan,
He just
gonna
wants
go for the
Spiralings.
Spiraling Army.
Yeah. Doesn't even get most of them though. They barely survive. Bob making his way over to that rather Radiant jungle as well. Looks like they did spot out DJ there for a second. Chuan still wants to get aggressive. Does get the Yule Scepter off, but can he land the stun? No! To back off because of that Astral Spirit Stomp. Bob is just going to try and get the hell out, and he does. Meanwhile, to the left side, Raging did get mana voided just then by Raven, but it is a Brood Mother. The mana pool isn't that large. So in the end, he doesn't really take too much damage, but maybe Raven cleared out some spiders, and I think that may have been it.
Yeah, they lose out in their bot tier 2 though. So Execration is finding the tower wins. As soon as they see Fnatic commit elsewhere, they can push on the other side, get the objectives, start to catch up that way. All the farm on Fnatic is only really flowing towards Raven. Chuan is dead even with the other cores on Execration. Death has again taken the backseat in farm, so he's not building up as fast as you'd want. Still waiting to see if he commits for the BKB or Blink, holding on the money just for now. Good saving item now up on Raging, finishes up the Aeon Disc. So bursting down the Brood might take a little bit longer. Once he gets popped out of the control, he can just run through the webs, regen elsewhere, have his team back him up. Could be one of those moments where Execration starts to turn things around. They've got the 2k lead on their side. Raven still needs more time to farm up. And as long as the AM's not ready to go, you feel good here.
Oh, bot lane. That's a big target, Chuan. Oh, actually going to turn around. A nice silence there from Jabs. They're going to go on to BDZ, and now the black hole's out. Phase shift, I believe, is still there for the puck. No, Bob, he's out.
What?
He, I'm pretty sure he was phase shift, but he got the blink off before the black hole dragged him in.
See, how does it prioritize Blink? How does that work? Why?
Because Puck, John. Because it's Puck. Puck can do anything. Anything. Mid lane. Palos going to go on to Jabs. A big Dream Coil there as well from Bob. Speaking of the devil, DJ, he's gone. Chuan, though, he'll be okay. Palos, he's out of rage, so he doesn't want to go much further. Bob, he could be in danger. He's very low on mana now. Raven. No, they can't catch him. Bob is fine once again. Would you believe it?
Why? How? Why?
Roll in. Who they found this time? It's going to be RR. Very nice little kill there on the Auto Titan.
The cost of magic.
Like, how? Why does it not detect the damage the moment he jumps out? Right? Like it's busted. Like that's black hole. That's a 200-second cooldown in level 1. That's just gone. You don't find the puck kill. Execration manages to find a couple of kills on their own now. And every time you commit that spell, that just suddenly becomes useless afterwards. He has a BKB up now, but it's a minute and a half until the next black hole. I think Fnatic's going to have to pace themselves here. Execration, they're starting to find openings. They're starting to get that space out for Palos to be big. He's still only about 1,000 gold behind Raven. This is not the flash farm we were expecting from the AM, but Raging Potato's done a good job to ensure that the focus of the AM is on him. Wherever Raven's at, Raging Potato follows, and it just ensures he doesn't have as much jungle camps to go to after clearing out the wave. Execration, without long cooldowns themselves, they just keep smoking up here.
Yeah, I mean, why the hell not? You know the black hole's down, you may as well try to force the fight. Top lane is where they'll go. DJ, he'll be the first person they run into, but they do scan out Raven. Unfortunately for them, though, Bob is going to break his smoke onto DJ. Bob, he's still looking for Raven, though. He knows the AM's somewhere in the tree line, but he's not going to be able to find him, so instead, they will settle for DJ. The best they could really do at this point.
Yeah. Oh. Death.
Trouble. Yeah, he just goes down. Pops a BKB, just doesn't work out. Now Dream Coil's there. They found the Leshrac Chuan. Oh, he gets caught out as well. Just not great news for Fnatic. Execration, you start to wonder how Fnatic's going to try and pull this game back now. This lifestealer, he is hitting very hard. And sure, you have this kind of rat potential with the AM. But that's about all you've got at the moment.
Yeah, it all hangs on Raven. They've dumped all their gold, all their resources onto this AM. They haven't gotten enough towers just yet to trade away on Fnatic. Like, it looks fairly even on the map. You're at 1 tier 2 up on Execration side. Just gives them a little bit more gold to play with and more map control. You're starting to see the effect of Raging Potato just constantly stalking Raven as well. There's not enough camps for him to really maximize his battle fury. Fnatic are smoked up. BKB still on cooldown for about 18 seconds on death, but they will have Black Hole ready to go. And this is the time when Fnatic needs to take a big fight. They need to win that fight as well. Roche being started here by Execration, that could be a nice area to get that Black Hole off.
Oh, it certainly could be, John. If they can get there in time. Roshan with a DD rune on Palos is not going to take him very long, and I don't think they're going to quite make it. They're going to scout it out now. Roshan's still up. Can they make it in time? Jabs, he's going to roll and he'll try. But Palos, he got the Aegis. And now the Infest is there. Dream Coil out. They've caught two with it. Bob, he's on to death on the Enigma. He's going to BKB and try to run. Black Hole, it's going to make it in time. Where's the cancellation? They can't kill off death in time. There is your slitter. They will finally get him. The Aegis is expired now. Palos will keep going for the fight onto Chuan. And they will get the Lesh. So in the end, it was a bit of a panic Black Hole, and it kind of worked, but kind of not as Raven. He'll keep trying. In fact, no, he's going to try and escape. His courier, though, is going to drop, and they'll let the AM go. Raven will keep farming. But that mid-tier 2 tower is set to fall, and if you're Execration, you could probably go for the top tier 2 to boot. There's nothing to really stop you.
They can just completely shut down the map. This will severely limit Fnatic's growth in items, limit their economy. It's only Raven that can really pop out now to get that farm going with his Blink. And that's a scary proposition for Fnatic. You still need more gold here on death. He's not that close to his Blink. Still about 1,200 gold away. So maybe after like a couple of creep waves, you can start to feel comfier. But you definitely need that initiation tool on death and likely need a refresh. Like it just doesn't feel outstanding yet. They're just not getting the big black holes they want. They're not protected even with the BKB. It's starting to wind down as well to 7 seconds now for death. And the downtime of Fnatic's just too long. Like Execration just constantly run at them. They don't have those long spells to worry about. Longest cooldowns really just finger on BDZ, and it's not really necessary for some of these ganks anyway. Once the Ags is up on Bob, even the BKB is not going to save death while he tries to get the black hole off. Like, you have all the counters here on Execration's side, and they're slowly building up to that point where they just take over the game.
Yeah, it's getting very, very tough now for Fnatic. I mean, Raven, he's getting an Eye of Skadi. Like, it's definitely going to help against the Lifestealer, but even then, I just don't think you can sit there and 1v1 him. BDZ going to jump in, but the Earth Spike wasn't there in time. Oh, the counterspell was there from Raven.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, Bob. He's going to connect the silence, but the team is not around, so he won't bother popping the coil. At Execration, they could just comfortably control the map. Death doesn't have black hole up. He'll go for a Malefice. DJ, though, on the backside is going to get caught, and Bob just bursts him down. DJ, he's gone, and now Raging's gone. In fact, Jabs, he rolled in to try and help out. Now he's been coiled up. Raven's going to jump in to help out as well. Yule Scepter's there. Chuan, he misses the Earth Splitter. Or rather, the Split Earth. And now Chuan, he's going to try and run away from Raging Potato. Raging's actually got no help around at the moment. He's waiting for them to come in. Raven down the backside will go after BDZ, but the Hex is there in time. Earth Splitter is now up from RR. They do get the Astral Spirit, but the Earth Splitter connects on nothing.
Meanwhile, racks.
Yeah, Palos is just taking top racks. I thought this was I thought Palos was playing Lifestealer, John. Apparently he's playing anti-mage.
Radiant's top barracks are
Yeah,
under
he's getting the objectives for his team while they buy space out. They don't drop heroes in that exchange. Execration just getting everything they'd want in these trades. Fnatic are starting to lose a lot of map control. They only lose the range racks, so it's not severely going to shove in too much here on Execration's end, but it's an exposed melee racks. It's going to be really easy for Lifestealer with the Desolator to just melt that the next time he's up there.
Radiant
And Fnatic,
scanning.
you're seeing the shortcomings of this draft. They've got the Ags up now on Bob. So the Blink Black Hole, if it doesn't catch the puck, you're still not going to get the full duration Black Hole. It's a
Raging?
scary talk for death.
Raging. He's being very annoying on this Broodmother, but he may have finally got caught out. Death actually died. What did he die to?
Spiderlings, that's it.
Oh boy, he just dies to the spiders. Raging, he might die for this. Maybe not though. Guardian Greaves, he's just going to run the other way. They have no idea where he's gone. Now Bob's going to show up as well. He's got the coil up with the Aghanim Scepter, and he's also got Palos. And Raging gets out. What an absolute disaster for Fnatic.
Yeah, Death Pop is BKB as well, so he's down to 6 seconds.
Oh boy.
It's painful. Like those Spiderlings, if the heroes that are supposed to clear them out aren't next to you, they still melt you. Top set of racks completely gone. They can line up for mid. Bob's getting that done as well.
Radiant's top
And
barracks
Fnatic,
has
their
fallen.
options are shrinking. Their high ground defense is still good with Black Hole. I don't know how good though, because again, the Dream Coil Ags upgrade. They've got the answers for it. So Fnatic need to get a perfect Black Hole going from Death. And that's just such a big demand to make of one person. So much hinges on that one spell used for Fnatic. They're still hanging on. They've lost the gold lead completely, 15k. They've lost Raven as #1 in farm. He's at 17k, a 1k behind the two big cores on Execration's end. You're just not at the point where the AM can solo carry this game.
I mean, certainly not. Don't even talk about solo carrying. Johnny's not even top of the net worth board right now. It's
No.
just nowhere near. They're smoking again. They've got the blink up now. They want to try and surprise the side of Execration with this blink, and you've got to appreciate that, but Bob's going to break it. Phase shift, blink away, no problem, no risk taken here from Bob. You've got to love Puck. What a great hero.
What a hero. Just break smokes like that, break the rotation out, waste more time from Fnatic. They've really controlled the map in X3. Look at the mini-map. Look at the Spiderling army from Raging. That's an infestation.
Yeah, they're coming. Oh, they're coming.
Looks
You
like a
see-
router mic.
Yeah, you see this in Australia, John. You run the other way. You don't try to...
Why are they there? Why here? Oh,
Why
there you
not?
go. Moving them away.
They're spiders, John. They do whatever the hell they want.
Oh, God.
Oh, those are real scenes, by the way, from parts of Australia. Let me tell you, John. It's a scary, scary place.
Oh.
They tend to migrate. Some breeds.
Yeah. I remember the scenes, you know, like the webs all over because of the floods, and they get driven out, so they build webs all over the place to hang away from the water.
It's even better when there's if there's a hurricane. They start flying, John. They glide through the air.
Oh my God.
They do. I'm not joking.
What?
You can look this up on
Why did you
YouTube.
tell me this? No. God, no. I thought flying cockroaches were bad here. Flying spiders?
Yeah, I mean, at least cockroaches can't kill you.
Have you ever
though.
been bitten by one? I had a friend get bitten by a cockroach somehow. Not
bitten
pleasant.
by a cockroach?
Yeah. I don't know how, but she did.
Wow.
Didn't look pretty. Let me tell
No,
you.
I imagine not. No, I've never had that, John. I must admit. I've never had a problem with a cockroach. There's bigger problems here, John. Even if I got bitten by a cockroach, I probably wouldn't notice, I'll be honest. Bot lane, they're going to start pushing in the tier 3 tower, Raging. Oh, in an 8 jump. Who they found? It's going to be Chuan. On the left rack is gone. Raven, he's going to try and jump in and fight something, but the counter spell's already used up, and now the coil's going to lock him down. They have the leash. He does break the leash as well. Bob, he's got a DD rune. He'll just get to work. He has no buyback.
Buyback.
And now Death, the last
Oh,
hope.
no.
That's it. They call it. They've had enough.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Wow, wow, wow. Execration. A pretty dominant game one. I can't even say it was close.
No. Fnatic, they went back to this big win condition for Raven. They go into the AM. they didn't have enough to get it running. Like they put the AM in the Broodmother lane, and sure, early on you might be able to manage it, but you have to deal with the Silken Bola. The mischance just annoys you. Eventually, they did find a tier 1 tower bot first, and it looked good for Fnatic because it felt like Raging wasn't getting the impact. But all Raging had to do was chase down Raven, just prevent him from having camps to clear out after clearing out the creep wave. And that just meant his Battle Fury, despite it coming out really early, never amounted to much of a net worth lead. He was only at best 1,000 ahead of the next core. Never the big AM you want, never an item advantage to play with. And Fnatic just falls flat. We'll have to see what they bring back in game 2. Execration looking amazing. And really down to the fact that they got this big raging potato here. We talked about it in draft. If he has Sand King, if he has Broodmother, he knows how to play those bugs. He's an Australian inside, Mike.
It is tough against the man. We are going to head to a short 10-minute break, though. And once we're done with our break, we'll be back with Game 2's draft between Fnatic and Execration.